Hello, everyone. So, my parents and my brother are out today, so I have like 20 minutes to make this video. So, this is what I think the worst Democrat and best Republican ticket would be out of like actual nominees. Like, I wasn't gonna put Kathy Hochul or someone like that who would arguably be a worse candidate for the Democratic Party because she hasn't announced any plans to run. But Gavin Newsom and Kamala Harris are both in their own, like, they both want or have potential to be the nominees. And then JD Vance and Glenn Youngkin. I think this would be a solid ticket. I debated about Youngkin or Gabbard. I feel like Gabbard would do good in Hawaii, and Youngkin he would do good in the regional area, like this regional area. And then Gavin Newsom he would probably do better in like the coastal areas. But overall, this would be a very bad Democratic ticket, first of all. I'll do worst Republican and best Democrat, probably either later today or early tomorrow. So yeah, this is my map. I know you guys are all thinking, oh, but Gavin Newsom and Kamala Harris, if they're from the same state, that can't. So what I'm gonna say to that is, one of them could easily just change their residency, if I'm being honest. Both Bush and Bush and Cheney back in 2000, they were I think they were both from Texas, but then Cheney moved his residency to Wyoming. I think we could see something similar. Kamala might just stay in DC, or Newsom might probably want to leave the state because of all the California stuff that's happening right now. I hope California, the LA stuff gets better, but this is genuinely what happens when you're too busy trying to save the fishies and not too busy trying to save the people. Yeah. Maybe DEI was not the best idea. No shade, no shade, just saying. Okay, let me just. So without further ado, let's start this video. Okay, so for safe states for Gavin Newsom and Kamala Harris, I think Washington, Vermont, Massachusetts, Maryland, and DC, as well as First District of Maine. Nah, I don't even think I'm gonna move the First District of Maine. So we see here, Democrats start with 39 safe electoral votes in Hawaii. So Democrats start with 41 safe electoral votes. For context, Kamala Harris had 98, and before that, Joe Biden last time Democrats won the White House. Um, so we had 183. So we're gonna see she's only at 43. And then for JD Vance and Glenn Youngkin, Utah, I think he wins the first district of Nebraska by because it's rural Nebraska, honestly. Neither Kamala Harris nor JD Vance, no, neither Kamala Harris nor Gavin Newsom really have appeal. I'm gonna make Kamala Harris the VP just because I think somehow putting her as VP would probably be even worse. Especially since Gavin Newsom, I think he's a lot more hated than Kamala Harris. Kamala has her supporters, Gavin Newsom does not. What else? I think Alaska could be safe under this scenario. It was a 13-point margin. Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, Arkansas, the Bible Belt down south, not Georgia. Be interesting, Georgia. South Carolina, West Virginia, and then in this situation, I think Maine's second, and then I also think the states of Texas, Florida, Iowa, and Ohio will all be safe Republican states. We take a look at these states; they shifted pretty decent, and also JD Vance has huge Rust Belt appeal. That's definitely going to favor him. While Texas and Florida were both 14 and 13-point margins, respectively. And Florida, especially Florida, Democrats had the vote. In fact, Democrats had the voter registration edge in 2016 and has quickly gone away. Lexus is not happening for the near future. I've said this before. Let's place a bet on whether New York or Texas will go blue first. New York or New Jersey, either one. Okay. So we see these are all the quote unquote toss up races. Obviously, some races are more competitive than others. So, what we're going to see is start with Gavin Newsom and Kamala Harris. I think they win Oregon, California, New York. Do I want to put New York? Let's start with Maine, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Delaware. Honestly, I can see these races less than 10. They are progressive states, but at the same time, Do they really want California dictating their entire state? I don't think anyone really wants California dictating their entire state. Even California doesn't want that. Okay, so do I want to put New York in the safe in the it's hard. I don't want to. For the sake of this video, I'm not. And do I want to put Illinois in the state in the nah, it's fine. So this is the map. We see a lot of states that normally wouldn't be competitive that are competitive in this situation. So Gavin Newsom and Kamala Harris at 120, JD Vance and Glenn Youngkin at 219. And then I think Nevada, Arizona, and other states. There are other states. North Carolina, I hesitated on this. And Georgia. No, I don't think that Georgia's gonna be likely in this situation. I think it'll still be lean. Eh. Black turnout, I think I'm gonna go to the demographic shifter and let's see. My semi-favorite demographic shifter. I think we can actually get 2024 results coming out soon, so that'd be really fun. Okay. Oh, well, this. Okay. Let's just say black turnout drops. We see Biden won Georgia by 0.2. Let's just say black turnout drops to, let's just say 10%. And let's just say Republicans can get 15% of the black vote. The state's already an 8.2% margin, which probably won't happen. Let's just say we bump black turnout out. I do think Georgia has the potential to be a likely state, so I'm going to put it there. This video is going to be so. This video is going to age horribly. Um, so okay, Gavin Newsom and Kamala Harris. These for some reason are going to be all the the competitive states. I think Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania all also have the right to be likely states. Michigan, let's start with Michigan. Wayne County, 9-point shift. Even if we see, so Wayne County was a 29-point margin, so we can adjust. Let's just take a look at Michigan exit polls. Michigan, that was 2020, so we're gonna look at 2024, and I think the glass is gonna start shattering if I start smashing my window. Sounds really bad out of context. I don't care though. 2024 exit polls. So we take a look here. We see once this thing will load. Michigan, I think is we see. That's what I thought. Black voters. Okay, Kamala lost a little bit with black voters. Let's just say an 85 to 15 in terms of black support. Kamala Harris' margin already decreases just with that. Let's just say turnout drops. Let's just say turnout drops a few points. Trump's already won, and we take a look at Hispanics and Latinos. So Donald Trump actually won Hispanic and Latino voters in the state of Michigan, which is honestly pretty cool. Um, because I don't know if cool is the best word for it. I don't know. Let's just say where Democrats regain a little bit with the Hispanic vote, and we see that be our map. Republicans are up in region, and then we take a look at Asian and other voters. This is where your Arab American voters come in. It voted pretty overwhelmingly for the Republicans. We saw a huge shift. Let's just say this is the map, and let's just be generous and say this is the map. So Donald Trump is at that. However, we haven't even adjusted white voters with college degrees yet. We should probably do that real quick. White voters with college degrees. I think JD Vance is very good with white voters with college degrees. I think he narrows up this gap at least a little bit. I think that could generally be the margin. And then white non-college graduates. Donald Trump, that was his best area of support, I do think. White voters with college degree without college degrees are definitely not going to vote for Kamala Harris. I'll just say that. And oh my God, like even if we shift it, we only need to shift it by 3%, and we see Donald Trump's already won the state by an insane margin. We didn't even need to adjust turnout. Wisconsin, let's take a look at Wisconsin. We just need to drop black turnout. Take a look. Wisconsin. race. That does not say race. Race, we see. First of all, Donald Trump did very, very good with black voters in Wisconsin. We saw he got 25% of the black vote in Wisconsin, which we see here. Hispanic and Latinos once again. Latinos actually didn't back Trump by that much, which is really surprising. White voters, degrees, ignore that. Okay. White voters with college degrees. I think we're gonna see huge reversions in white voters with college degrees. I can go down to like 55, 45. That already gives Trump a 5 point margin. I need to explain myself. These states will be 5 plus points. And 312 firewall with just these states. And now for likely Democratic actually. Wait, no, I think Colorado would be a likely Democratic state. I hesitated on lean or likely. Colorado is just such a blue state, honestly speaking. We largest county in the entire nation, El Paso, nation, Colorado, even larger than Denver. We see that El Paso County has more votes than Denver, but is significantly bluer. You see the Boulder area, these area here, drifting left off a cliff. And we're gonna see that as a likely state. Now these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 subdivisions are all gonna be the most competitive states. For lean Democratic states, I think Illinois, and New York will be lean Democratic states. I'm gonna get so much hate for this. I really don't care though. No offense. You take a look at Fox News, exit polls, Illinois. We can't actually shift the margins on actually we can use the election shuffler. Election shuffler version 3.0. Take a look at Illinois. We take a look at Illinois counties, and they all shifted towards the Republicans. We see, let's just say, Republicans. I think they're gonna gain in this general area. Turnout. This is also like a minority dominated area, so I think turnout does drop. Let's just say turnout drops by 13%. Okay, and Republicans gain. Let's just say they gain 10%. Not even using the rest of the counties, we already see the margin has dropped down to 11. And let's just select the entire state. Yeah, so I think it'll be lean. We've seen Illinois, first of all, Illinois has elected Republican senators, Republican governors. I know that's not as indicative, but at this point, first of all, Illinois was a lean margin until 89% of the votes in. Honestly speaking, something happened. I'm not saying the election was rigged or anything. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, I find it a little suspicious that Democrats gained almost 90%. I'm not saying voter ID. I'm not saying the election was rigged. I don't want to be quoted with that in the future. I'm just saying math ain't adding up there. Obviously, it did add up. New York's a similar story. I do think we've seen Kathy Hochul versus Lee Zeldin in a Dobbs year. Gavin Newsom and Kamala Harris. First of all, do New York people really, really want Kamala Harris and Gavin Newsom? Also, regional appeal. We see Virginia and Ohio relatively closer to New York. So that's that. And then we see here, there aren't any other lean Democratic states actually. For lean Republican states, I think the states of Nebraska's second, well, district, New Hampshire, Maine at large. Oh God, I'm gonna get so much hate for this. New Mexico. I think these states are gonna be lean Republican states in this scenario, and I'm gonna get so much hate for this. But I think Republicans, Donald Trump did very good in New Mexico with the Latino vote and everything. But once again, do Latino voters really want to vote for Gavin Newsom and Kamala Harris? We can take a look at the governor's race even for Gavin Newsom. He underperformed very badly. He only won his race by 18.4. We see a few counties that Joe Biden actually won. And Brian Dahl, he received the highest percentage received in the state's most populous county. And we take a look at the congressional districts. He carried every single competitive congressional district with the exception of Jim Costa's, which, yeah, we take a look. He carried freaking Katie Porter's old district. He's he did very good in the state. He got to 40% in the state. And Brian Dahl wasn't even a good candidate. It was just Gavin Newsom was hilariously unpopular. And also, nothing hilarious about this, he's handling the situation in California horribly. Horribly. Anybody who wants to run in the general election, JD Vance versus Gavin Newsom, I'm waiting for this debate. I really hope that debate happens. Because we're going to see JD Vance absolutely wreck him, and that's going to be very, very entertaining to watch. And then for the New Hampshire, I always say New Hampshire always votes against the incumbent party, and I do mean that New Hampshire does vote against the incumbent party. However, New Jersey also votes for candidates not like Gavin Newsom. Um, I mean, little appeal of New England, honestly. I think what's his name? JD Vance and Glenn Youngkin, at least he's somewhat of a moderate. Like we saw Coos County, Carroll County, we even saw Hillsborough. We saw these counties shift to the right, and they definitely shifted to the right. And New Jersey's a not New Jersey, New Hampshire's a very elastic state. On the same ballot, um, Donald Trump lost by 8. Chris Sununu won by 30. Gene Shaheen won by 15. So we saw huge split ticketing. And so that leaves these three states for contention. So in this situation, tilt Democratic states, there are none, which means I'm going against all my principles, right? I'm going against all of them in Virginia. My principles are being jeopardized. We see Glenn Youngkin gets to 261, Gavin Newsom and Kamala Harris get to 177. I think this is a true mandate. We're going to see a true mandate. JD Vance, result. Everyone hated JD Vance, honestly. Let's be honest. Everyone did not like the idea of JD Vance unless you were like a 100% Trump support or that listened to his every single qualm. Everyone hated JD Vance, and then we heard him during the debate, and we're all like, where has this guy been in 2022? Where has this person been? Who is he? Why is he here? Why is he speaking like an actual like competent politician? So, Virginia, Glenn Youngkin has proven he can win in Virginia. Virginia's going to get closer without black turnout. Again, we might as well see the 35% shift from 2020 in these counties of turnout drops. Rural, even if you hear the rural areas 2020 like margins. This was Luria's seat. This was a Youngkin plus I think 17 district. So Minnesota, I hesitated on Minnesota so much. It can be close. People in Minnesota do not like Kamala Harris after her stance on the war in Gaza, and if Donald Trump can actually do something about it. And then New Jersey is a very interesting political state because Jack Ciattarelli outperformed Donald Trump in rural counties, but Donald Trump outperformed him in urban and suburban areas, which I find like hilarious. It's very Donald Trump is the one that quote unquote did I break my window? Did not. False alarm. That quote unquote suffers with suburban and urban voters, but that did not happen. Anyway, that's the video. Glenn Youngkin and Gavin Newsom. Glenn Youngkin flips New Mexico, Minnesota, Nebraska second, Maine at large, Virginia, and New Jersey, and I do not feel very good about this map at all. However, could it happen? Yeah. This is assuming Trump's presidency goes well. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. Bye. I'm gonna actually record the other one, the worst Republican and best Democrat, like right now.